Sorry.
That's okay.
What was done on the outside to my mother and I, if people actually looked into it, and not just the government side, and saw that the DEA, within a month of our clinic being open, had their own nurse practitioner planted in there. They had him come interview and hire so that he could write prescriptions. Ow, sorry. Oh, it hurts. Newsflash, Tylenol doesn't cut it. So he could write prescriptions for people so that they could try and target the clinic, because we would not pay the $10,000 a week that the DEA agent wanted us to pay to remain protected.
So they wanted you to, they were trying to force you to do a bribe.
It's common practice with a pain management clinic. I've got several friends that own them, and I just wouldn't do it. I said no, and I turned him in, actually, and so did my mom. And he threatened for us to be found in our vehicles with methamphetamine. I've never used methamphetamine a day in my life, just so that he could take my kids away. And when you're a single mom of 5, having your kids threatened, you'll do whatever they want. And I still wouldn't bow down. So they planted their own nurse practitioner within 3 weeks to a month of us being open. They lied to a grand jury. This is all documented. If the president or Pam Bondi would just pay attention, if they would just do the research, if any attorney out there would just do the research. They told the grand jury that they started an investigation on our clinics in October of 2010. We weren't even open. There was no clinic to investigate in October of 2010. We opened the last week of December. So what were you investigating? They planted a nurse practitioner. They gave him immunity. There's text messages presented to the grand jury by that nurse practitioner against the lead DEA agent, because I closed my clinic because of all the threats, voluntarily. The planted nurse practitioner told the DEA agent, I don't think that she's going to reopen. The return text message was, she has to. There's no case if you can't get her to. You have to make her. So he came out to my house to convince me to please reopen, that he would work for me, and the other ones were going to stand by me, and they were going to do the right thing, and they would make sure I was protected. So I said, we'll try this one more time. We were actually trying to help people. There are reports from the DEA agent that they tried to get in undercover. He was turned away 8 times. He reported by me for not bringing medical records. Does that sound like I'm trying to run a pill mill? I told him no, that he could not be seen because he was not bringing the right stuff. So what did the lead agent do? The lead agent got in touch with his undercover nurse practitioner. There's text messages that are on file. He had that undercover DEA agent go see the undercover nurse practitioner that the undercover nurse practitioner set up for him to come in to get a prescription. They knew each other. They gave him a prescription, and they took that prescription to the grand jury as us running a pill mill. The DEA agent had to testify at my mother's trial that they never reviewed full medical files of any patient. Their expert said if I would have been shown the entire file, I would have come up with a different theory. They did not have files. They had 266,000 pages. 95% came from our medical director's clinic that my mother and I had no attachment to. They lied, and they gave my mother 280 years with 3 years supervised probation, and me 44 years for a nonviolent first-time offense as a business owner. What is wrong with this country? I can't take much more. I keep telling myself that. But my mom is going to die in here alone.
And they cut her video off. That is Faith Blake. You can see it right there. That's her name and reg number. That's her name and reg number right there. That's Faith Blake, and her mom is named Barbara Lang. They need your help, guys.